Barnardo's services are predicated on reaching the most vulnerable and most needy children, young people, communities across the UK, and we will respond quickly, effectively, sustainably as we possibly can.
I think Barnardo's is really well placed to support the LGBTQ agenda because of the reach we have with the over 900 services that we've got, reaching about 250,000 children and young people and their families every year.
We have a very strong basis and values that we work to, which is about acceptance, it is about equality, and it is about supporting people to achieve.
Barnardo's has a long-standing history of embracing diversity and inclusion. The work that we're doing around LGBTQ is just another step of something that's become a very high-profile issue in recent times. So I think it makes us fit for purpose in a modern society.
We have a strong history of LGBT support through the forum that we run. We've been providing safe zone training, our own internal trainings, for 20 years. Our services internally have already been on this journey and undertaking this work.
We know that many young people struggle if they are questioning their sexual or gender identity, and we know that there are higher levels of mental health difficulties. We know that then there can be a huge range of issues for them with their families, their sense of place in the community, that then mean that they struggle in other ways to form kinship support groups. They can sometimes place themselves at risk in terms of the relationships that they form, and also that we know that quite a number of these young people can end up actually leaving their families and becoming homeless.
It was important for us to establish the Positive Identities Service and the level of work we're doing, because the young people we're working with were telling us that their life wasn't that simple. There was a clear need for more work to be done in schools, in communities, in other services provided for young people. LGBTQ young people and people in general can be really hidden if they do not feel that the environment they're in is going to be safe. And a big part of our role, we feel, is to help communities get to that point.
We know that sometimes issues around different communities, cultures and faiths can sometimes be very intolerant right across the board. So seeing that and seeing how that works through gives me passion, fire for wanting to kind of move forward this agenda and make sure that kids can inhabit the body that they are in and be the person that they are.
I think one of the critical ways of making sure that the services that we provide are appropriate is making sure that the staff and volunteers who will be interacting with the service users have the right skill set, and that means that we identify and provide the right support and understanding to those members of staff and the volunteers so they provide appropriate and sensitive responses to young people.
When we fund organisations, we really put a lot of weight on strong voluntary community organisations and put a lot of effort and energy into good volunteering opportunities, and we know that that's been a really big part of this project. So not just running it as a project for LGBTQ young people, but actually thinking about how do we get people involved in volunteering, supporting those people, and that builds resilience not just for the young people but also for the volunteers.
I think the Positive Identity Service is at the cutting edge of bringing the legislative framework that we've now got into this in this country into real practical effect. So the ability of Barnardo's, particularly in concert with schools and community groups, to really ensure that the tolerant, diverse, inclusive legislative framework that we've now got in this country, to get that into the day-to-day realities of children and young people, I think is incredibly important.
I don't think you can underestimate, though, that the importance for individuals of finding out who they are and feeling assured and comfortable in their own skin so that they can then go on and live their lives. And that really is where our services fit in. So they fit well with the context of the framework of legislation, but they are the critical bit that make it real on the ground.